Hello everyone, I'm going to talk about the Kubernetes today. Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration platform that automates deployment, scaling, network, and manage the containerized application across a cluster of the machines. So how the Kubernetes look like is like this. It have multiple components, so we start from the controller. This is a cluster. There are so many machines inside, and we treat one of servers as a node. So there has the controller plane. We can also treat it as special node. So we also can treat it as like it's called like a controller plane node. And in the controller plane, we have the components which is called controller manager and the scheduler and the etcd, and also has the API servers components. And this is an important part about the controller plane. And for the other part, which is called nodes, this node is named as the worker node. So it's really when your application is running on the servers, it's running on this node is what it look like. So inside the work node, we have which is called like pod, right? In the pod, we can have different containers, which is kind of like container 1, container 2. And for the container, this means when you dock your applications and you have the dock image or something, you can run in this one. So this is kind of like your application is running in the container. And maybe in one pod, you have separate different applications running, so you can do some configuration to choose, current pod is running one machine or one application or two applications. And also in the worker node, we have the container runtime, and also inside like a kubelet. And the Kubernetes proxy is kind of like to offer some function to tracking the node status, and you can use some command line to check what current is now doing. So this is the high level about the Kubernetes. Yeah, and for we have the control. The first one component is control plane, and the worker node, pod. Pod is your application is running pod, and for the servers, we have different servers like API servers, which is API servers when you got something from the Kubernetes, right? And it will redirectly to you. Oh, your current application is running on node 1. So API servers kind of like functions work to route your application to the specific node. And for the ingress, it means we have the ingress controller. It offers some like IP address, then you will send it to the specific cluster, and then based on the control plane, they will help you to find the worker node. So that is offer the stable IP address. For the port, maybe port can be shut down or encounter some problems like a shutdown. Then this IP will be not stable. So we will need another stable IP address to help the control plane to find that. So we use the stable IP address instead of the port IP address. Yeah, for the deployment and service. Okay, so deployment, this one. Yeah. Okay, so for this problem, it's kind of like to answer this: how do you deploy the application on Kubernetes? We have to write the deployed this file, this kind of configuration file. Name the application and name the pod that's managed by this YAML file, and the pod number of your container. and the resource that the pod need to run and can use, and the number of port, and the liveness and readiness prop. So what's the meaning about the liveness prop and readiness prop? So for the liveness prop is kind of like, it will check, it's kind of like you have used like a healthy actuator to tracking current node, current prop, whether works fine. It's used like heartbeat to tracking the status of healthy. So this is the purpose for the manager part. Controller can manage, oh, current node is down or not, then he will do the next step. Yeah, for the advantage is like, it's very powerful, right? Self-healing, automate rollback, and horizontal scaling. For the disadvantage is very complex, and for the Kubernetes, which means the servers almost never shut down, so the cost will be very expensive. And there are different cloud servers will provide those services like Amazon EKS and Google Cloud, Google Kubernetes Engine, and Horizon. This is from the Microsoft Kubernetes servers. They will offer the setting up, configure the control plan, scaling the cluster, providing ongoing maintenance support. Like see here, this is used like Amazon service, for example, provisioned an EKS cluster and deployed compute and connected to that one and run the Kubernetes application. Yeah, thank you.